If we added $5,000 in tokenized value to the system, what would happen to the price of XRP? A lot of wrong things have been written and said about this subject. Because I've learned more over the years, I need to change the way I think about all of this. I'm going to clear up some big confusion today and end this for good. The way that folks don't get tokenization on the XRP. Guys, let's get this going. Some of us will find this hard to hear, but it's also an opportunity to learn and get stronger so that we can all agree on what tokenization means. It all started when I saw this post from a person named Costa. It reads, "This is huge. A 10% tokenization of all assets in the world would bring the price of XRP to 473,000. It said, I'm not kidding. Read the thread below if you're still not sure. Now, let's read what they have to say. After that, I'll tell you the truth and show you where they're wrong. If Ripple is right, it says that in 5 years, $50 trillion or 10% of the world's assets will be turned into tokens. The price of XRP will go through the roof when 10% of the world's assets, or $50 trillion, are tokenized on it. There will also be a supply shock that could make it go up even more, says XRP. Just in case you didn't know, its market cap has gone up. For every 10 billion that comes in, the price will go up by 516%. This is not true, but a lot of people think it is. That's just the flows that happen when people buy and sell new XRP on the open market. The market cap ratio is about 500x right now. It has nothing to do with that has value that has been tokenized. It doesn't work that way. Tokenized value can't get a market cap amount added to it. Also, the market cap won't always grow by 500x, since it's hard to cash out. For the first few trillion, it will only work. This silly market cap multiplier will go away when there is a lot of money on the chain. I've seen more and more people get this wrong and not get it. That's the reason we're making this movie. They even talk about Phil Quack's rise in market value here. The market looks like it will grow a lot in the first billion. But once the market cap goes over $1 trillion or $1.5 trillion, it will be about the same as Bitcoin, which means it will be worth 5 to 7 times as much. The COSA then says, let's figure this out. 10% of the world's assets divided by 10 billion moves. That's 5,000 times 10 billion coming in, which is 26.5 quadrillion. Yes, you heard me right. Split the money you have now in half. By this price. Let's get this straight. All of this person's work is here, and here we are. The numbers in these posts are guesses, so they are not accurate. I think this method greatly overestimates how much XRP could be worth because it uses flawed market cap multiplier thinking and doesn't look at things like adoption, liquidity, distribution, trading depth, and long-term demand in the real world. The claim starts with the idea that by 2030, XRP tokens will hold 10% of the world's assets, or $50 trillion. It's not possible for 50 trillion won to move directly into the XRP ledger, even if it were tokenized. After that, it talks about the math behind market cap multipliers. When $10 billion comes in, these posts use market cap multipliers like 516 to show that the market cap grows by a lot more than that. These multipliers come from a picture of an order book. It's just a guess what these factors are. They show the depth of the short-term order book or markets that don't trade very often. Their graphs don't show how asset prices or usage around the world change over time. Here is the study in math. To figure it out, divide 50 trillion by 10 billion to get 5,000 amounts. After that, increase that number by 5.33 trillion to get 2655 quadrillion. This number can be split into 573,000 XRP tokens, which is the number of XRP tokens that are available. This way of thinking is wrong because market cap multipliers don't work in a straight line or over and over again when trillions of dollars come in all at once. Slippage in the market means that prices can't keep going up by using small s size factors over and over again. Resilience and running out of cash. I'd like to take it a step further. The price of XRP would change if 50 trillion was tokenized in assets on the XRP system. This would depend on a number of things, such as how These assets interact with XRP, how XRP tokenizes assets, and how liquid it is in the real world. This is how it works. On the XRP system, anyone can turn assets into tokens. In other words, these assets are shown on the blockchain as coins that have been raised. The XRP system is only used to keep track of what things do they own and what trades have taken place. It is not simple to change these assets' value into XRP. This doesn't change whether they are set coins, real estate tokens, bond tokens, or something else. They are still their own tokens, changes in the price of XRP. If XRP is used as a bridge asset, its price will go up, but only if the 50 trillion assets settle deals in XRP on a regular basis. In other words, XRP won't be needed if these assets are recorded on the XRP ledger, and deals are settled with a safe coin or something else. But a lot of these deals, you should have to use XRP. The price support is strongest when people really need to be able to buy and sell XRP. More people will want to buy and use XRP. If a lot of it is used for all of T, this value was tokenized. When assets are recorded or sold directly without XRP, like when US dollars are traded for tokenized stocks, the price of XRP stays the same. It doesn't matter how much the assets are worth. Use coins. Demand is caused by using something. The price of XRP only goes up when people really need it in the long run, both as a bridge and as security. This could be because of the way institutions pay each other, the way decentralized platforms handle funding, or new uses for the XRP ledger. So let's say you had $1 trillion and had to back it up with some other money. With XRP, you could do that. People would want XRP after that. If the 50 trillion is backed by XRP and not just backed automatically, then the 50 trillion in tokenized value is not backed by XRP. Each tokenized asset has its own value, and depending on how it's used, it can be backed by either cash prize assets or smart contracts. It was planned. When something is backed, XRP can be used to buy it or hold it as protection. On the XRP system, this doesn't happen very often with tokens that aren't 100% XRP. Few coins use XRP in a direct way. A few things, like some institutional transfer methods or cash pools, need XRP to settle. Only those things would have their value linked to the demand for XRP. In the XRP system, how does money move around? Credit lines given by companies. There are source trust lines that keep track of tokenized US dollars that people use to buy things. There are times when stable coins, stocks, or XRP might not be useful at all. When XRP is used to pay network fees or make payments, it has to pay small network fees. These fees are drops, but they don't matter when you look at the total flow of assets. Last but not least, the 50 trillion number only refers to the assets that could be recorded on the XRP ledger. These assets are not backed or protected by XRP itself. In other words, XRP will only do well if there is a steady and large demand for deals that need people to buy and hold XRP as collateral or settlement. A lot of tokenized value direct use of